Hey players, Rick here with Game Trade Media. We're coming to you from Alliance Open House, and I have the pleasure of having Chris and Ken from Calliope Games sit with us today.
Oh.
And welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Rick. Thanks for having us.
It is my pleasure because you have taken two of my most favorite things and had some sort of like fusion, as we talked about.
Oh, yeah. So food.
I love it.
And games.
Yes.
And
Please more.
We blended them into a souffle.
Oh, my
or
God.
a jambalaya.
I like both of those things.
And yet, there's no Cheeto dust to be found anywhere.
No.
Good.
No, it's all, well, that's the whole thing about this game. It's about making the best stuff. We're not using Cheetos. No.
Unless, of course, it's Friday night and there's a show you want to sit in front of and you just need to have that Cheeto hand.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not talking about that.
No. Never.
No.
This is when you have something fun to do.
Yes.
We're talking about Menu Masters, which
Wait
is
a minute. Is that why you're dressed like this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why.
I'm so oblivious sometimes. Or are you actually cooking lunch for the...
I am. There's hundreds of people in the next ballroom waiting for me to cook for them, and instead I'm talking about Menu Masters here. And you know what?
You haven't tasted Spam balls until you've tasted Spam balls
balls.
made by
I make
Chris.
a really mean SpaghettiOs. I'll tell you that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh. So
So-
tell us about Menu Masters.
Yeah, so Menu Masters is from our Titan series, which is
Okay.
where we got some of the best designers to make Calliope level games, which are gateway games, filler games, ones that are good for non-gamers to kind of introduce them to new things. But this one is by Zach and Jordan Wiseman.
Okay.
Jordan, a lot of people will remember because he founded WizKids.
Oh, wow.
Co-founded WizKids and many, many other things, BattleTech and all these other things.
Okay.
And Zach, who's his son, they work together on this game.
Nice.
And it's a fantastic worker placement, bidding, market game.
Okay.
And so what you're doing in the game is you are trying to complete 3 menus.
All right.
And when you complete the menus, the value of said menus is going to be equal to the ingredients that you have gotten from the markets on Main Street.
Okay.
So, you want the freshest ingredients.
Of course.
So you are the head chef, and you have your assistants here,
Minions.
minions, and you are going to send them to the different stores first thing in the morning to line up
Okay.
and get you these fresh ingredients. You have a produce stand, which is going to have, here's some salad and beautiful tomatoes.
Those are
Oh,
amazing.
look at these green beans. They
Those
look
are fresh tomatoes.
I'm sorry.
Magnifique.
I'm sorry, Chef. No kale today. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's actually a very positive thing.
Okay, good.
You're also
my
going to have
job.
the butcher shop, which has lots of meat.
Okay.
You got some lobster and the pork and salmon. There's steak. There's lots of different
Okay.
cuts. And then there's the bakery. I'm going to slide this right over here.
Okay.
There's the bakery, and the bakery is going to have all these delectable baked goods. So each of these cards has a star value associated with it, 2, 3, and some of them are even 4. And the 4s are actually split because you can use them for one of the 2. There's a 4-star ice cream or a 2-star cream puffs right here.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do when you want to complete these menus, if I need to complete this menu that's got green beans and fudge cake, I'm really angling for these green beans here and for this fudge cake here. If I manage to get those, I have a 6-star menu because of the stars that we use.
Asterisk disclaimer. We are not attempting to make fudge cake out of green beans.
No, that's true. That's true. It's not green bean fudge cake.
So
It's
this
just
is
different.
one of the menus right here.
Yeah, so, sometimes you go into a restaurant and you're saying, I really have a taste for green beans and then fudge cake. That
That's-
happens, right?
That's true.
So that's exactly what you're attempting to build here.
Because I figure if I only eat the green beans calorically, I'm okay with eating a fudge cake.
Yes.
A whole fudge cake, not a slice.
That's the whole thing. I just ate some green beans. I'm ready for this fudge cake. So how do we go about getting these items? Well, on your turn, during a round, you're going to be placing your assistants.
Okay.
Minions.
Your minions. And what you're going to be doing is, on your turn, let's say I'm yellow.
Okay.
If
And yellow is...
Yellow is Chef Antonio Scavuso from Ristorante.
Ristorante, the restaurante.
There we go. So Chef Antonio here, was Antonio, was it not? He is going to send his minion,
Yes, minion.
his little sous chef.
Okay.
Banana.
He can get in line right here
Okay.
at this store. Now, he's not getting in line for a particular item. He's just in line at the doorstep saying, this guy's in line, he wants to purchase something.
Okay.
Another thing that you might do is you might own a shop for that round so that you'll collect money that's spent there. So you open up your own pop-up, right? So
Nice.
you can put your chef cap right up here.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is go to the bank and you can get yourself a coin by putting your your little minion right on top of one of those. But
Okay.
you're going to do this.
ATM.
You're going to do this one at a time, though. So let's say I place this, and
Right.
you've decided you would really
Right.
like some green beans.
And I'm going to be playing Chef Henry Vicomte.
Henri.
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 Henri Vicomte.
So you would take one of your sous chefs,
Minion.
and you would place it if you wanted to get in line here underneath mine.
And if I'm trying to do the same menu, or if
Yeah, let's say for whatever you have, because you're going to get 2 of these secretly, 2 of
Oh,
the
I
menus
see.
secretly,
Okay.
but there will be 3 community cards up as well.
Okay.
So you have some different options of what you're going to build. But let's say both of us really wanted to go after this. I got in line here first.
All right.
Then it went to you, and maybe you place underneath me to drive up the line. The line's getting longer, and maybe another player comes and they decide they really want it too. Kaboom.
Okay.
And then we continue to go. We go around the table one at a time, placing our chef caps in different places.
All right.
And then once we've placed all of our chef caps out, it is now time to collect the stuff that we put out for. So
Okay.
in this case, when we come to this produce stand, I'm the first one in line.
Right.
But to get any one of these, it's going to cost me 3. 1 for every chef cap in the
Ooh.
stack. So you start with 6 coins.
Okay.
I would have to spend the 3 coins. And let's say that Ken was green and he had owned this place this round. So I would spend 3
Okay.
to get those green beans I coveted so greatly.
Yes.
All right, and I put that in front of me underneath my
You
little
know,
board.
I had spices to put on the green beans, but it wasn't the right season.
Oh,
my goodness. You see what I have to deal with the sous chef over
Yep.
here?
So you would go under
So
the board.
it goes under the board there.
Okay.
And then this cap goes back to me.
All right.
And now it would go to you as the white player. You now only have to spend 2, but your selection has gone down.
Right.
And
So-
now you're like, I can't get those green beans, so you have to change up your
So
strategy.
the card doesn't replace until
It
the
does
end of the
not
turn?
until the end.
Okay.
And if you don't like anything that's there, you can say I pass and take your cap back.
But that would be like really upset because I really wanted to make those.
wanted
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now there is a secret strategy. Now you mentioned fusion foods before, right?
I did. Yeah.
Chefs are masters of fusion, and
Yeah.
you can create what's known as power foods. So if a menu calls for green beans, but you just
Molecular gastronomy is the term used in the magazines these days.
fancy, he's
Nice.
got the vocabulary.
He does.
So if I wanted green beans, but I just couldn't get them.
Sure.
If I got the salad and maybe in a previous round I had another salad,
Mm-hmm.
you can use 2 of any item from a store as a different item from that store. So you can substitute a really good salad for the green beans.
Wow.
So that's something you could do if you just can't seem to get what you want.
Yeah,
But you
Monsanto.
couldn't combine 2 salads to make fudge cake because that would
Correct.
just be silly.
And it's a
Right.
different store, and
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
one really wants a salad
not
instead of
believable.
fudge cake.
Right, not
If
believable.
I said, Rick, would you like this salad instead of that fudge cake you wanted? You would probably knock me through that window over there.
Well, I would not
I'd
so
beat you
much
to
knock
it.
you through the window. I'd rummage through your refrigerator
He would knock me
and hold you
through
back like this
the window.
until I found
He's
what I wanted.
angry all the
I'll
time.
save
I'm
you.
not. Just because I'm wearing green and I look like the Hulk, it
all
doesn't
right.
mean
It's
I
all
am.
Okay. So this is what's going to happen. So you're going to go around every round. You place the caps, and then you bring them back. If you owned a store, and everyone spent their money at the store, and it's here, then at the end of the round, you get to collect all the money that was spent there if you're the owner. And then you collect any coins that you may have gotten from the bank over here, and then that's the money you have to spend in the next round to grab the stuff you
Nice.
need. When you have the items and that you've collected, when it's your turn, you can say, I'm completing a menu.
Right.
And you put the 2 cards. So in this case, we've got a menu, and we've got the 2 items that are needed for it. Oops, let me move it there. So we've got a 3-star, 3-star, and we've got the menu. So when I do that, I put those together with the menu on top, and I slip it right next to the Today's Specials section here.
Go ahead and
There we go.
Spin this so everybody can.
Oh, wonderful. And once someone has completed the 3rd menu, you finish the round that you're working on, and then that's the end of the game. And then everybody reveals the menus and the stars, and you count up all the stars. Any cards you have that weren't used in a menu are ignored.
Okay.
It's only the completed menus that count,
Nice.
and whoever has the most stars is the winner of the game.
Nice.
Should also
One of
mention-
the interesting features of this game is it is a closed economy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So you have 6 coins. There are only a certain number of coins in the bank. You have far more displayed here than we have in a real game. So you could take off like a house on fire, but then be absolutely broke and have to wait 1 or 2 days just to get the money back to be back in the bidding.
Wow.
Right.
That's
so
crazy.
you can have a round where you go all out buying as much as you can, but you're going to be hurt in the next round
Sure.
because you're not going to have any money. So if you're missing one thing, it can be really tough. And other players will notice that because you'll be like, I really got to get these tomatoes, and I put my cap in line. And then everybody, they don't need it, but they just start driving up the price on you, and they're like, "Oh, you only have 3 coins. Too bad. Looks like you can't afford anything here because there's 4 caps in the stack."
The worst.
There's a problem. You notice you cannot own a store that you are standing in line for. That's called price fixing, and it earns you a trip to a little concrete room with a metal toilet. It's not a good thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. So you cannot own if you're in line, and if you're already in line, you can't choose to own the shop.
Makes sense.
Yes.
All right. So one of the other things that I noticed about the game, as far as the components here, because you know, besides food and games, I like miniatures.
You do.
And I see this little happy guy.
Yeah. So we
right
have.
here.
He's actually. Where's the chef himself? I think he's. No, I think
No?
he's the green. Yes.
Oh,
there he is. There he
Chef
goes.
Juan Sandoval.
From Sabor. So this is our first chef token, and it's unpainted. So those miniatures fans that are out there who say, "Oh, I would like to paint something, but I want it to be a gateway filler, very accessible game for my family." You know what? You can all take some time and paint this together.
Taking fusion to the next level.
That's
I
right.
like it. And
That's
the
right.
fact that he is, you know, the chef outfit is mostly white with a little bit of green and some yellow accents. That actually would be a lot of fun to paint.
There you go. That's our
Yep.
first. That's the first player token.
Well,
So that passes.
we'll
around the
leave you
table.
alone with your miniature later.
Thank you.
So this is what we like to say is that this helps teach a little bit of a worker placement mentality
Yeah.
to somebody who hasn't really done worker placement before, because you are, you know, choosing where you're going to put the different caps and how you want to spend them. But it does also have kind of that market thing,
Sure.
you know, the fluctuating, you know, what can I get away with without being gouged?
And
type
so
thing.
this game is for what age range?
8 and up.
Okay.
Yep.
And how many players?
You can play this game with, here, I'm going to talk about this. So on the box, it says 2 to 5 players.
Right.
And that's absolutely right. You can play 2 to 5 players. But there are enough components in the box for 6 players.
Okay.
The thing was, we made a conscious decision. When we were designing the game, we did not want to put 6 players on there because it's a cutthroat 6-player game.
Nice.
And we're all about the family, right?
Of
We're all
course.
about the non-gamers. We want to make it, you know, a nice introduction to the hobby.
Sure.
Gamers could play this game 6 players and would understand, but the 6th player can overextend themselves very quickly and become, you know, in real trouble. So we put 2 to 5, but there are components for up to 6 players. But that 6-player game,
Is it tough?
And at higher player counts, we have
oh yes, the
A
supermarket.
a fourth store.
Yeah, so in a lower player count game, you have the 3 normal ones. The supermarket would go at the end if you're playing with higher player counts, and it would get 1 card from each market as an extra board to place caps on, because you want to have more places to go.
Of course.
So that is our way of extending it up into the higher player count.
Oh,
And-
excuse me, Chef.
Yes.
I went to get some salmon, but they said it was fini.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
The dad jokes abound.
yes.
Now, last couple questions. How long does it take to play an average game?
Average game of this is somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what it is?
correct.
That's what's on the box.
Okay.
It's 20, 40 minutes. If you're playing with lower count, it's not that. It's 20 minutes. If you're playing with, you know, 4, 5, or 6 players, it's about
Okay.
a 40-minute game.
And the price point is
So $30.
Nice. That's
$30.
gateway.
Yeah. So the best thing is it's a great game. You can go to your local game store and pick it up, and everything is ready to go. You know, everything is pre-punched,
Okay.
pre-sorted, ready to go. So
Right out the box.
yeah, that's what we always believe
And this is
in.
available now.
This is available right now at all great game stores near you.
Near you, that's right. So if you guys want this, go to your local game store. If they, for some odd reason, do not have it on the shelf, they can absolutely order it through Alliance and have
Absolutely.
it there for you, lickety split.
Yeah.
Now, where can somebody who may not necessarily know about Calliope go to find out more about Calliope?
Oh,
Why, you can go to www.calliopegames.com.
there.
Perfect.
Or at Calliope Games on Twitter or Calliope Games on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. We're everywhere you want to be, Rick.
And
It's
we will
everywhere
be
that I'm
adding,
at.
in post, we will be adding Chris's home address and a trailer across the bottom of the screen. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen.
No.
Very cool. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming up and showing us Menu Masters. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Thank you so much
I know-
for having us.
I know you guys have a lot going on this weekend here, so I know you want to get to it. So we're going to go ahead and let you all know. Go to your local game store, pick up Menu Masters, become part of your local gaming community. I'm Rick for Game Trade Media, and we will see you at the
See
game
you at
store.
the movies. Oh, game store.
Thanks for watching Game Trade Media. Make sure to leave us a like and click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new content.